stationary. All of my action figures.
Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show, and I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Perry, Pastor Perry from New Hope Baptist Church. I had communicated with, this is two times I've done that this week. I had communicated with Lori, gave her some times for interview slots. She responded back with the time she wanted, and I put it in my calendar on the wrong slot.
How funny.
And so when your secretary called and we scheduled you,
you put it incorrectly.
Yeah. So
it's not. I'm a morning kind of person. Mornings don't bother me at all. It's funny, when my wife and I got married, I was the kind of person, I was up at 4:30, 4:45 in the morning type guy, and my wife evidently was not. I was sort of that, even in high school, that 9 o'clock, 9:30 in bed kind of guy, and then getting up early. And when we got married, she wanted to stay up till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And when we got married, my wife thought that if God wanted us to see the sunrise, he'd make it about 10:30 in the morning, And but we survived it at 20, almost 27 years later. We survived it and doing well.
Yeah.
But yes, sir.
Well, I was like her, my first few jobs, and then I moved down to Alabama, and the guy, when I got there, he says, "You're doing the morning show," and that's when I discovered coffee.
Now, where were you at in Alabama?
Fairhope, Alabama, down near Mobile.
Oh, down near Mobile. Yeah, Sims, Mobile area down there. Yeah.
Yes.
L.A., Lower Alabama.
I was going to say, that's what it was called, L.A.
Do you know what the best thing that ever came out of Alabama was?
No.
I-59, Interstate 59. But...
we lived there for a few years before we moved to Mississippi, but we weren't really aware of fans of NASCAR at the time. It wasn't till later that we went and saw a race at Talladega, and that was quite an experience.
I need nerve medication for that kind of stuff. I just don't do well with speed and noise. I'm a boring person. I really am, and stuff. Anyway, people say, well, can we look through the history on your computer? And I say, well, sure. All you're going to see is Fox News. That's about it.
Yeah, Gutfeld, the singing parrot.
There you go.
Yeah, the car guys out of Colorado, and then a lot of Bulldog Sports and stuff like that we do. Well, New Hope Baptist Church, you've got an event coming up, and that's what we wanted to talk about today.
So much is going on since we've talked last time. We this last winter, we went through a major rehaul. For anyone who's ever been in the old Center Avenue Baptist Church on Center Avenue, catty corner of Yeso Elementary School. It was an older building, so when we came and took the congregation, which was small at the time, and made New Hope Baptist Church, we recognized we were dealing with an older building. We actually looked at a couple of buildings here, a couple of other churches to consider to purchase and move. But after a lot of prayer, and we had one lady in our church, Sister Edwards, that God just gave her some. She's just a visionary. She can see things, and she showed me how we could maybe redesign some things, and it really fit. And we thought, let's just stay here and let's just see what the Lord does. So we completely renovated our educational facility, tripled the size of our fellowship hall. We were one of those churches that only had, a men and women's bathroom with one commode in each one of them. Now we think that we're the Jeffersons. We're moving on up because now we've got a total of 3, 4, 5. We got 6 commodes and 2 urinals. So man, we're in Trump Tower as far as we're concerned. But the Lord's blessing, and now we're about to go into phase 2, which is an upgrade of our sanctuary soon, and get some outside stuff done. But the whole time, the congregation just continues to be very steady, and the congregation continues to have new people coming in. And so we're thankful for that. We decided with the fall weather to have a Western Roundup Day. We're getting out of COVID.
That's right.
And the president says it's all over. Didn't you hear that?
I heard him say that.
I got to leave my city council hat alone.
I don't
and I'll
know
stay with Pastor.
that other people within the government heard him, or other entities heard him. But I did see that story. Yeah.
But we have some folks that because of their jobs, they were not permitted to be able to be around so many people and different things. And then we had some folks, because they're being elderly and different things, things. So we're trying to have that roundup day, encouraging people. It's been a while. We don't want you to feel embarrassed or discouraged about. Come on, get back in here with us, and let's see what the Lord does. At the same time, reach out to our community. So this Sunday is Western Roundup Day, and it's got a Western flair to it. We'll have we've got a Western town decor, and we've taken the pulpit away, and we've got a bunch of bales of hay built up for a big old pulpit, and going to have more of that bluegrass Western sound, and just have a great time in the house of God. And then afterwards, a great big barbecue lunch. Got, I don't know how many. I think we've got 180 pounds of pulled pork. And seems like we got like 80 pounds of brisket, and I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. A lot of potato. Anyway, it's going to be a big thing. We got a petting zoo. We've got a family in our church that's got llamas and stuff. So we're going to have a petting zoo. And believe it or not, I am the proud owner and have been for years of a Ferris wheel. I own a Ferris wheel. Who owns a Ferris wheel?
A Ferris wheel?
I was.
How big a Ferris wheel?
Not that big.
Not that big.
I'd say it's probably it's every bit 12, 15 foot tall, and it seats 4 kids, and it's just but anyway, it's a lot of fun. I've had it for years, and so I'm going to get the Ferris wheel up here for the kids, and we're going to have old-fashioned games.
Was it at the Yucca Blossom Trade show recently?
No, we had it in the parade. You may have saw it in the parade.
Okay.
We had it in the parade. And we put it on a trailer and put some kids on it and let them just have a good time.
It had to be fun.
So
for the kids going through that.
Had a great time.
Right.
But just offering an opportunity, and we recognize that with the economy being what it is, that a lot of people may not be going out to eat as much as they would, or getting to go, and whether that's to the movies or to out of town for things with the kids. So we just want to be a blessing to our community. So it's going to be a big feast, and then all the games and just a lot of fun, and it'll just be a good time. We just want to invite the community to come be a part of it.
Yeah. Have you been to Benny's to get your cowboy hat?
Well, I have the cowboy hat already, but I may still go see Benny's to see what else it's got. They've got a lot.
They do. Or boots. I never. I grew up in the Midwest. I didn't grow up on a farm. I grew up in the city, and so it's tennis shoes or work shoes. I never got into the boots, but the folks that have the cowboy boots just swear by them. They love them. And
I have a pair of cowboy boots, and I have had a pair of cowboy boots for probably about 15 years because they last me, because I just don't wear them much. I'm not a boot wearer. I wish I was, because a lot of things you can do in boots you can't do in dress shoes.
That's right.
But
That's right.
I'm sort of that suit and tie almost 7 days. I'm not today, but
right.
Almost 7 days a week, suit and tie kind of fellow. So it's going to be even a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Well, and you live in a part of the country where you can suit and boots.
You could.
That
That's
is
true.
acceptable attire in this part of the country.
This is very true. And an area of the country, something that took me a little while to get used to, is seeing guys in blue jeans and a sports coat. That was odd to me.
Yep.
But now it's just the norm.
It is.
I own one pair of blue jeans. I
think I do too. So that's great. Well, it's kind of nice because it's been a while since we had you on to talk, but it seems like when we did talk before, we were still in the throes of COVID.
Oh, yes, sir.
And people dealing with all that. Now we're past it, hopefully, like you said, the president said, but we still have so many issues that are affecting families. You talked about the economy and how much it costs for everything. The inflation has just been crazy. So I'm sure this is adding another. I mean, we get out of the COVID stress, but we didn't really get rid of stress. It's still a stressful time.
We just have a new form of stress. It just comes from a different place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so families, it's still, we feel it in our pocketbook at our home. And so I know families are feeling it, and we just want to be a blessing, just give you one day to where you don't have to spend a dime. You can come hear some good music and hopefully some good preaching. That we'll see how the preacher does. And but it's the Word of God, so it'll be good.
It'll be good.
regardless of the person delivering it. And then just some great time. Just we took the llamas yesterday. Just in the front of the church. We got so many kids that their parents will park in our parking lot. To pick them up from school, and we just pulled the llamas out and got some little flyers to invite them to come. And there were just dozens and dozens of kids coming, and parents just saying, can we just come and just pet the llama, get our picture with the llama, and had a few kids. It was just the highlight for them because it's just been a while since they've had anything outside of the norm of going to school and going home and going home and going to school, going to school and going home. And we just want to be a part of showing that, and we recognize there's other churches here in Artesia. And if you're a member of another church here and you're faithful in your church, we're sure not trying to snatch you away. We recognize that that there are churches to be a blessing, and I noticed you had some announcements on your doors from some different churches that are doing the same kind of thing, trying just to be a blessing in the community. This is just our opportunity to partake, and if you don't attend another church, or if you do and you come by in the afternoon, we'd just love to see you.
So this will be on this Sunday?
Sunday. We start at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
And one of the best forms of invitation is going to be when they start cooking.
They'll start smelling it. So they'll start. So we don't need people camping outside the door at 4 o'clock this afternoon, because that's when tomorrow afternoon, that's when we start smoking the meat. As a matter of fact, one of our members, Justin Cartwright, the company he works for has a massive smoker. And it was in Midland, and he drove yesterday and went to pick that smoker up. And
wow.
We just got some great folks at our church that are just, they're always ready to help. And so it's going to be a good time.
Now, just looking ahead on the calendar, do you have some other...
We got a lot of things happening. We've got the ladies are going to a conference in Rio Rancho. I'm actually heading that's why I've got this facial hair. I'm not a beard wearing, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm just scratching and itching and picking and pulling, and but I take a trip every couple of years to Israel, and when I have found that it's easier sometimes to do what you need to do. They respect men with facial hair there, so it's sort of a thing. And so I will usually do this. And so we're going to be flying out next month, and we'll go spend a couple of days in Paris, France, and then from Paris we'll head to Israel, and got some folks from here in Artesia, some from Roswell, some from the East Coast that are going with me, but we'll be going to Israel, and then we'll be having some other big things going through, and that we'll talk about later in the month of December. But we've got a lot of things. We've got a Bible Institute, and we do not require that you're a member of our church. If you're just someone in the community and you just desire to know more about the Bible, but you may attend another church. We're not looking at trying to steal people again, but we do have a Bible Institute. It's very in depth, and it's 1 day a week, and it's a phenomenal course to go through the Bible in 3 years, and it's very inexpensive, and so a whole lot of things going on, lots of stuff. Yes.
And this is New Hope Baptist Church, which is on Center Avenue, just almost across from
Caddy Corner from Yeso Elementary School.
Yeah, you're actually not that far from the underground school.
Right across the street.
Right across the street. I've never been down there.
I'd love to take a look down there.
Yeah, I bet it'd be kind of eerie and strange.
Okay, I've just changed my mind. I'm just kidding. I've never been one of those to watch these movies where you're walking down a hallway and there's no lights except for you can see through, lights under a door, and you hear the creepy music. I don't do well with that.
Well, I would assume that that isn't there. I mean, it's just, but
Just the creepiness.
just the
of it.
creepiness of the whole thing. Well, Jason Perry, thank you so much
sir.
for coming. Was there anything else that we wanted to share
No,
with folks?
just tomorrow, Western Roundup Day, New Hope Baptist Church.
Tomorrow or Sunday?
I'm sorry. I am that tired.
That's what
I
you
really
said when
am.
you
I'm
came
that
in.
tired.
You were in Dora.
I was in Dora last night. I'll be in Dora again tonight. I have a total of 7 children, 2 on the police department in Roswell, 1 in seminary in California, and 4 still at home. And somebody asked me, said, y'all have 7 kids? Are any of them adopted? And I said 3. I said, and as soon as we can get the other 4 adopted, well, we'll be doing great. But no, we love our children. They've been a blessing. But you're getting in that kick of age to where
It's not as easy to do all this.
We've got a senior, a junior, a sophomore, and a 7th grader at home, and having them that close together seemed like a good idea back then. But now at my age, it's wearing me out.
Yeah, well.
But we love it, and so sports.
That's right. So you'll be back in Dora tonight.
Yes, sir.
And then Sunday will be the Western Roundup at New Hope Baptist Church.
Sunday, not tomorrow.
Not
Sunday.
tomorrow. Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Well, good to see you. Thanks for
Good
coming
to
in.
see you. All right.
All right, we're going to take a break, Jeffrey, and